Okay, so the common thought for the last 2 years has been that the Switch is being primed for a mid-gen refresh of some sort. Call it a Switch Pro, Switch 2, Switch U, whatever. Pretty much everyone's on the same page. The next system should be iterative and backwards compatible. When everyone in the fan base is on the same page, that usually means Nintendo will make a hard left turn and do something weird. But we're gonna stick our heads in the sand for now and pretend they're gonna do exactly what everyone wants this time. Please? Since I don't want to keep saying Switch Pro, which has an almost 0% chance of being the name, or trying to come up with a unique name that nobody on the internet has suggested yet, we're just going to call this Phase 2 hardware. Phase 1 refers to Nintendo's home console offerings from the Switch's launch in 2017 through Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on May 12, 2023. That includes the Switch Lite, and the Switch OLED. I'm basing this whole video on the idea that Tears of the Kingdom, like Breath of the Wild before it, will be a dual console release. You just wait. In the as of yet unannounced February 2023 Direct, they're going to dedicate about 10 minutes of the 40-ish minute runtime to the reveal of a Phase 2 system. Between the backlash for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's graphics and the perfectly timed release window for Tears of the Kingdom, summer 2023 is the perfect time. Visually, the new system will have the same silhouette as the Phase 1 hardware family, but will be slightly larger than the OLED, and the Phase 2 Joy-Con will be two-tone, either black or white with red accents on the right and blue accents on the left. All Joy-Con for this phase will be two-tone by default to help differentiate them from Phase 1, but they're completely backwards compatible with the Switch and the OLED. Additionally, the Switch Lite will receive a more powerful Phase 2 entry with new colors and a longer battery life. I'm going to say lavender, mint green, and light gray for the sake of being different. Why do I think this is the case? Well, let's look at Nintendo's first-party lineup and exclusives announced so far for 2023. In January, we got Fire Emblem Engage. In February, we're getting Tales of Symphonia Remastered, and Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and Octopath Traveler 2. After that, we have Bayonetta Origins in March, Tears of the Kingdom in May, and Pikmin 4 at some point, but that last one doesn't even have a window in 2023. Let's just say the schedule's a little light. Assuming the Phase 2 hardware launches same day with Tears of the Kingdom, let's fill out our proposed schedule for how the rest of Phase 2 will play out. But first, a few assumptions. Bigger first-party Phase 2 games, like Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon, will be $70 at full price. It's not fun, but I don't think they're going to buck the trend of Xbox and PlayStation going $70 at this point, even if their console will be about PS4 or Xbox One level of performance. Nintendo will offer a $10 Phase 2 upgrade code for certain Phase 1 cartridges, similar to what the PS4 and PS5 did for Spider-Man and things like that. 2023 releases will be dual releases, unless noted otherwise. That means both a Switch version and a Phase 2 version will release. 2024 will be a mix of dual releases and sole releases for the new system. All 2025 releases and beyond will be Phase 2 exclusive. One last thing before I get into what titles I think we might see, that I'd like to see, whatever you want to say. I've not been keeping up with leaks, so the following game pitches are either ideas that I've had for a while, or that have been rumored for quite some time now, like a new 3D DK or a new Mario or whatever. With all that out of the way, let's get into what I think we could see throughout Nintendo's Phase 2 era. Let's begin in May of 2023. Obviously, on the 12th, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom releases. So we're going to also assume that's the Phase 2 hardware release day. The Phase 1 cartridge for Tears of the Kingdom will be the standard $60 for Nintendo Switch games, but the Phase 2 cartridge will be $70 and come bundled with the DLC pass for a limited time. That DLC pass costs $20 on its own, so you're saving $10. Nintendo has had a shaky history of launch lineups in the past, but for this one, they're planning a strong outing. Two other games will launch on May 12th, Wario Land Tag Team Tumble and ARMS 2. Wario Land Tag Team Tumble is a sequel to the Wario Land series of platformers, but this time will feature 4-player co-op, like newer Super Mario entries. His companions will be Waluigi, playable outside of a sports game for the very first time, and a couple of Shy Guys. Some WarioWare characters like Ashley make cameo appearances, but for the most part, this is classic Wario. While the first ARMS didn't do too great critically or financially, Nintendo's willing to give it one more chance on the new system. It's a dual release, but it's a timed exclusive for Phase 2, meaning the Phase 1 version won't be available until October or November. ARMS 2 has a stronger focus on Min Min and Ninjara, 2 fan favorites from the first game. Like recent Mortal Kombat entries, each character will have a unique arcade ladder and story ending after completing the main story of the game. About half the first game's roster returns as playable, and at least that many slots are given to brand new characters. In addition, we have 3 guest characters that Min Min befriended in a different arena: Mario, Captain Falcon, and Little Mac. Mario joins with a new mushroom power-up that gives him springy arms. Captain Falcon summons a flaming arm extension to fuel his attacks. And Little Mac wears a mech suit that projects wireframe arms to compete with. These 3 are meant to draw more casual users to the game. And maybe some that have only seen Min Min in Smash Ultimate. At least that's the dream. In addition to these 2 brand new games, Nintendo will also release the free Dodgeball update for Nintendo Switch Sports, coming first to Phase 2 on May 12th, with the Phase 1 update being pushed to August. Hopefully, these offerings sway potential buyers, but since everything is backwards compatible and none of these are exclusive yet, Nintendo's not counting on it. They're willing to see low hardware sales initially and let word of mouth spread about how much you need the Phase 2 hardware. They really don't want to admit that Phase 1 hardware wasn't up to snuff for current generation, so they're hoping that audience sentiment will get around admitting that in an advertisement. That may change later, but for now they're willing to take the hit on early sales and really push for quality. Let's move on from launch month to the rest of summer for 2023. June 16th will see the release of a Phase 2 version of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for $70, with the DLC pass bundled in for a limited time. This version runs buttery smooth, and textures are even more detailed than Phase 1 hardware could handle. Wave 1 of that DLC pass will also roll out on the same day, June 16th. The pass in its entirety will be $30 on its own for Phase 1 users. Much like Isle of Armor for Sword and Shield, Part 1 of the DLC will introduce a small new area, add a few more native Pokemon, but nothing huge, and a short self-contained story for the player to explore. On June 23rd, we'll see the return of the final recurring Mario sports game, Mario Superstar Sluggers, going for gold. Just like every other Mario sports game on the Switch, free character updates will be touted for future release. Each free update will come to the Phase 2 hardware 2 weeks ahead of the Phase 1 version. Because of the different team structure of this game, each free update will come with 1 captain and 2 team players. Just like Strikers, people will complain that the gameplay isn't as rich as previous entries, and the roster isn't nearly as deep. But the game will sell relatively well anyway, and be far more accessible to newcomers. In July, we'll see 2 releases that will be major for fans, but likely minor financial successes. First, Pikmin 4 will release on July 6th, and the Phase 2 cartridge will come with exclusive missions and a new captain entirely unique to this version. It's not DLC, it's not a timed exclusive update, it's fully exclusive to the Phase 2 cartridge, much like Funky Kong in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. On July 21st, we'll finally see the release of the long-awaited Metroid Prime Trilogy. Yes, rumors swirled that it was going to be whittled down to just the first Prime, because of time and material shortages during 2020. But when Prime 4 got delayed even further into 2024, Nintendo decided to delay Prime Trilogy and add Echoes and Corruption back in. The Phase 2 version comes with Metroid Prime Pinball as an exclusive feature. August will see no new game releases, but instead a couple waves of DLC. First, on August 11th, we'll get the first free update for Superstar Sluggers. It comes with Birdo as a new team captain, and Toadette and Monty Mole as new teammates. As mentioned previously, it can only be downloaded on Phase 2 hardware for the first 2 weeks, meaning Phase 1 owners won't get Birdo and friends until August 25th. Additionally, on August 25th, we'll see the first wave of DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. Now remember, The Phase 2 cartridge came with a DLC code included, so for owners of Phase 2 hardware, this is essentially a free update as well. Now let's transition into slightly cooler months with the fall season setting in. On September 8th, Bandai Namco will put out a sequel to their underrated Pokemon arcade fighter, Pokken Tournament. The Phase 2 version comes with 2 exclusive characters, Annihilape and Bisharp. Additionally, Pokken 2 will receive free updates with support Pokemon and stages, and will have paid DLC in the form of a Fighter's Pass, kinda like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The first pass will consist of 4 fighters, the first of which is revealed to be... drumroll please... Cerulege. The fighter pass costs about $16, where each fighter costs $5 on their own. All 4 fighters will be released by the end of 2024. September will also see the release of the long-awaited Legend of Zelda Master Quest Collection on the 22nd. This special 2-in-1 package contains new HD remastered versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask with a twist. Every save will have a slightly different dungeon layout due to new randomization elements. They still have the same objectives, same items and all that, but generate in a different order or configuration sometimes. This is an element that was supposedly planned for the original releases according to devs, but was cut either due to time or technical restraints. The Phase 2 version of this game will have an extra optional dungeon and brand new secret boss in each game. October starts off with a free Superstar Sluggers update on the 6th. This one adds Bowser Jr. as a captain and Piantas and Nokis as team members. Then, on the 20th, Part 2 of Scarlet and Violet DLC drops. This is the big update people have been asking for all the way since Generation 2 set the standard for post-game content. Students of the Academy can now study abroad in Talos. All 8 Talos Gym Leaders return, and once the students defeat them, the champion Serena will impart special knowledge on the player. She'll teach you how to Mega Evolve your Pokemon in battle. Now, much like Terastallization, you have to recharge your Mega Band after using it once in this game. Several Paldean, Galarian, Alolan, and Colossian Pokemon have new Mega forms introduced. October isn't over yet, though. There's still one more game that needs its time in the spotlight. Metroid Rise, the sequel to the wildly successful, for a Metroid game, Dread. Rise tells the story of Samus finding a new path after the stunning revelations about her past. While it is the story of Samus's rise to being something more than a bounty hunter, it's also the rise of a new evil that threatens the way of life of every single organism in the galaxy. Delve deep into new maps in the 2.5D search action adventure. The Phase 2 cartridge of Rise has an exclusive Boss Rush mode that's unlocked by completing the game on any difficulty. The last, but certainly not least major release before the holiday season is something many have been asking for since the Switch's launch. Donkey Kong Country Cosmic Chaos is a new 2D platformer entry in the DKC franchise. In this installment, DK and crew go to space. Wacky hijinks, familiar foes wearing state-of-the-art spacesuits, weird physics, and intergalactic threats abound in this new adventure. The Phase 2 cartridge comes with an exclusive Funky mode, similar in function to the Switch version of Tropical Freeze. The holiday season, as I'm defining it, begins with Black Friday on November 24th. As per usual, Nintendo will put out a Black Friday bundle for the Phase 2 system. But this year, instead of packing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, they're going to pack in a new game, which releases separately on the same day, Super Mario Party Deluxe. This enhanced version of the Switch entry for Mario Party features an additional 20-plus new minigames, 2 new boards, and promises of new content in the form of free updates exclusive to this deluxe version. The Black Friday bundle contains the Phase 2 hardware, a copy of Super Mario Party Deluxe, and 3 months of Nintendo Online plus expansion pack. I haven't mentioned Nintendo Online, but it's the exact same as the Phase 1 version. Same apps, games, and prices. Save data for vintage games can easily be transferred to your Nintendo account between Phase 1 and Phase 2 hardware. If you're looking to get the Phase 2 hardware as a gift for a younger family member this holiday, Nintendo has you covered. Launching separately on Black Friday is Yoshi's Cyber World. This follow-up to Woolly World and Crafted World features Yoshi and friends being transported into the digital space by a new villain. The landscape is covered in wires, holograms, neon signs, and other cliché elements that drive home the theme. The Yoshi amiibo for this game is translucent green. I know I haven't brought up Amiibo this far and likely won't again. I just really like translucent toys and they're great with kids. So I thought I'd throw that in there and roll it into the universe. Phase 2 cartridge of Cyberworld comes with extra levels and an extra character similar to Nabbit in the newer Mario games, so sort of easy mode for younger players. 1st of December sees the release of the final free update to Superstar Sluggers. It adds Diddy Kong as a captain, with Pixie Kong and Critter as teammates. As usual, Phase 1 hardware won't see the update until December 15th. On December 8th, Part 2 of the Tears of the Kingdom DLC will be released. I haven't played the game, I don't know what it'll be. I have one more game slotted for December 15th, but I'll skip that for a moment and briefly mention December 22nd. On the 22nd, Fighter Number 1 from the Fighter Pass for Pokken 2 will be released, adding Cerulege to the game. Paid DLC update will be paired with a free update for all players that includes a number of new support Pokemon and stages. And let's rewind to the game I skipped. It's been 5 years since the iconic Everyone is Healing trailer at E3 2018. It's been 2 years since the final DLC character, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, joined the fight. For Phase 2 hardware exclusively, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Final Destination Edition will be released on December 15th. This version includes all previous DLC fighters, plus a good amount of new content, including, but not limited to, spirits from newer releases such as Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Fire Emblem Engage, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. A brand new boss rush mode, as well as 3 brand new bosses to go with it. Ravenbeak from Metroid Dread, Giratina from Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Headlock from ARMS. New spirit boards for every character, not just the DLC figures. And new Mii costumes from recent games. Link from Tears of the Kingdom, Samus from Dread, Professor Sada and Turo from Scarlet and Violet, and the protagonist from Fire Emblem Engage. 2 more important points on this final, and I mean final, version of Smash Ultimate. Number 1. This game is fully compatible with the Phase 1 cartridge in online play. Number 2. Sakurai's been holding back one last surprise for this version of the game. Waluigi joins the fight. I'll be honest, I've never seen the appeal, but clearly there's demand for the wicked Waluigi in Smash. So as a final farewell, Sakurai has obliged. Waluigi comes with a stage based on Waluigi Pinball from the Mario Kart series, a slew of spirits, and his very own spirit board. For the time being, Waluigi will be exclusive to this version of the Smash, but there'll be a paid DLC option coming to the original releases of Ultimate later in 2024. And with that, 2023 has come to a close. For this first year, Nintendo was dipping its toes in the water, only releasing Phase 2 exclusive cartridges for games already available on Phase 1 hardware in some form. Next year, in 2024, they're going to slowly transition away from dual releases, putting out more and more high-profile exclusives for Phase 2 hardware. Okay, I'm done rambling now. Maybe there is no February Direct, maybe there is, but there's no new hardware. Maybe the next hardware is the new 3D Wii U XL Switch Lite Pro X. Who knows? If there is a Switch Pro, Switch 2, Switch Plus, whatever, coming down the pipeline soon, what games do you want to see? Take your wildest shot. Maybe Chibi Robo should headline a new competitive fighting game. Maybe Golden Sun should get a brand new, fully 3D JRPG. I don't know. You tell me. Anyways, that was fun. I'm Josh, signing off.